Hey y'all, welcome all to IGY6 Games, the gamers channel that brings you a variety of entertainment and content. Bo here and here. Before we kick things off, we'd appreciate the love by y'all sharing and hitting those icons that need to click. And with that said, check out our social meds where we post daily and keep in touch with our followers. Now let go. Well, agents, it's another Wednesday, that being October 23rd, State of the Game Day. That's a cheesy ass thing, just showing y'all the hitting points of today's stream. Enjoy. Kind of
this thing today.
Fortnite shit is that.
Here. How you doing, man?
Great.
Yeah, you're right?
Yeah, it's good to be here, man.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
It has been a little while since we've had you on, but we wanted to kind of check back in with you around TU6.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be talking more about some of the things as it pertains to AI and some of the things you've been working on.
Yes.
We kind of just wanted to check back in with you, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah, sounds good.
Before we get to that kind of stuff, I kind of got to show.
I don't like Massive's logo.
Feels bad, but I just wanted to let people know that you're here. If you are new to the stream, we like to do a thing at the start of the whole show where we get to the
Kit and
priority
caboodle.
alerts, so we can tell you exactly what's going on. And if you want to leave after that, totally cool. So let's
Do your
get
fancy
going
little
with the
transition.
priority alerts. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. You may notice my voice is a little hoarse today, but I'll try my best. I've been a little bit sick earlier.
I remember to do my nasal spray
I wish this was medicine, but
prior to streaming today. I don't know
George
what the
didn't hook
fuck's
that up,
out in
mate.
the
It's
air
fine.
right now.
rude.
Purple drink.
Exactly. The episode 2 main missions are now available for all players. So if you don't own the year
Done
one
did
pass,
it.
you can now get into those. That's the Pentagon.
Nothing
the HQ
special
military
about 'em,
forces of
really.
America, and they're abandoned shortly
I was
after the
disappointed
reinforcement
with the
outbreak.
main missions.
If you want to know more about all of that narrative side of things, the Pentagon and the DARPA research labs are now available to you. So go and check those out. For people, I feel like it's a bit of a meme to talk about Twitch Prime on Twitch. But
fuck.
did you know that Twitch Prime outfits availability comes to an end this week? You can currently claim all 4 in-game outfits if you do have Twitch Prime. So
The
go
hockey
and get
sucks.
those. And we actually have some of those to show. Do we have those in there?
Basketball was a flat
I don't
brim.
have these. We don't have Amazon in Sweden, so
Yeah.
Basketball's
I
in
mean,
the
you can get Twitch
background.
Prime, but unfortunately, I don't have it, so I don't.
Hockey
have
was the worst.
But dang, those are really cool.
These are cool.
Yeah.
What? Where's the mask for
I'm
the
sure I could
hockey,
get
huh?
some
Y'all,
People upstairs to maybe.
y'all
put
too
those in my
embarrassed to
account.
show that one, huh?
You know who you are. I'll talk to you later. Last Friday there was a maintenance and there was a fix for a scripting crash in the base of operations that could block progression for some players. Also, discovery mode for the raid has been reactivated.
Bullshit.
The Eagle Bearer should no longer drop from this.
God damn, I wish I knew about that when it was
Well,
going on.
We don't ever intend. Well, I don't want to speak in absolutes, but we don't intend for the Eagle Bearer to be dropped in the discovery mode of the raid.
How the fuck
Finley
can I
College
find
now
7
correctly
other
requires 4
players?
investigation areas to be completed before the Diamondback can be collected in the chapel. If you were lucky enough to get your hands on a Diamondback without having to do the whole thing,
Yeah.
I guess people get to keep it.
Every update comes with glitches.
Lucky
Yeah.
for some.
Good work.
Yeah. Good work, agents. Thursday maintenance. Fix the
Take
issue
a
that
step
prevented.
forward,
Oh, so Thursday
take
maintenance
a
is
step
tomorrow.
back.
Because it's Wednesday today.
I mean, 2 steps back.
Fixed an issue that prevented loadout swaps with specializations in certain circumstances. Fixed an issue that prevented interaction with the levers in the Kenley Metro. Fixed an issue that caused Dark Hours raid keys to drop in discovery difficulty. That makes sense. Fixed an issue that caused incorrect backpack trophies to drop in Tidal Basin on Heroic.
That's a lot
We
of
also fixed an issue that
fixes.
prevented the objective
Right
lightning
after
round at
releasing
stage
a
4 of
fucking
the
patch.
technician's special field research to
An
trigger.
update.
I actually did see some people having issues
God
with that.
damn.
I haven't gotten to there myself, but hopefully this week on stream I can get up to that point. We fixed an issue as well, causing a colored rectangle to appear when opening apparel caches, and
Yes, I saw
we
that.
removed a prematurely added blueprint from the crafting bench.
Motherfucker, I wish I saw that.
Not meant to be there. We've been there before, though. I was just saying before the stream,
Yeah.
the MG5, I think in Division 1 was on the PTS, but it wasn't actually meant to be in the game.
Oh, fuck that.
So, I guess a sneak preview sometimes happens.
Yep, maybe.
Unintentionally.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops. We do have a known issues list that was updated last week, so the known issues for TU6 can be found on the forums. We do know that the DARPA Research Lab's mission progress can reset if you are disconnected. You may get stuck in a loading loop trying to enter the dark zone as well from a checkpoint. Players can be unable to teleport to group members or inside the Pentagon. Your agent's primary weapon may become invisible, resulting in an animation bug and hit registration issues.
This is like taking
If you
some
do
goddamn
want to see this
prescription
list,
medicine.
There is a forum post, and hopefully some of our mods can put that in chat. And you can go over and check those out, so you know exactly what's happening. But
I just
sure.
fucking
You been,
listened to a Viagra
keeping
commercial.
your eye on TU6.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling about how it's being received by people?
Yeah.
Or
like,
Chew Blue.
Overall,
Blue
it's,
Chew.
we've been really happy to see the reception. So like we worked really hard on this. Like we really wanted to focus on quality.
Yeah.
And kind of
Y'all did
basically taking
great job on quality of
one
life
the first
improvements.
steps in kind of a direction.
This dude reminds me of
like
Jeff from
which is addressing
Big Brother.
some of the concerns with loot quality and things like that, right? RNG,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Exactly. I mean, there's obviously the targeted loot system as
Yep.
well. We've got all the new named items. We've got
great job on
the
target loot.
brand sets can now fit in more
And they
slots.
have all
and-
slots.
All slots, great
It does
job.
feel similar
Even though that
to,
was supposed to be done
actually,
like
people might remember when we did the
title
1.4
update
streams
prior.
and that sort of thing for the first
Yeah.
game. You were a big part of that.
Yeah.
Does it feel similar to you? In
Fuck
terms of,
no.
I mean, it's different, but
Yeah.
the same in some ways.
Yeah, I think
Some
in some ways
ways.
it does. I mean, you know, personally,
How
right,
general of an
I'm-
answer? How
I'm
vague?
super excited to jump back in the game and play.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a good sign.
Which I think is always a good sign.
Yeah.
If you're a developer and you're excited to play your own game, because I mean, we're playing our own game all the time,
Sure.
and so usually the last thing you want to do in your free time is play your own game.
Yeah.
But after 1.6 came out, like it was super exciting to actually pick it up and play. So I think there's something to that, right? And I think that we're definitely on the right track now.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, obviously there's still work to do.
Yeah, there is, man. You gotta
Still
get a player
lots of
base
cool
back,
stuff,
buddy.
Coming in the future,
Not just
but for the time being,
The loyal
I think,
faithfuls.
we're happy with where we are today.
Yeah, it's definitely an awesome step. I know
Yeah,
there's been
I
a
guess
lot of
until new
awesome feedback
content
from the
comes
community,
out,
so
that
thank
is-
you, community, for being a part of this update as well.
Big time.
That doesn't mean that I'm not saying thank you just for the praise, which of course we love, but also thank you for all of the critical feedback.
Yeah, and getting
It's,
us here, really.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Apparently some people in chat saying, good job. Good job, Drew.
Oh, thanks.
You did it. I mean,
No,
not
fuck
just
no.
you,
All right, don't.
but all
Yeah,
of the
There
people,
were
Come on now.
many people.
many
involved in
people.
this.
It is,
Yes.
I like coming to work and feeling proud of what other people actually do. I get to kind of latch onto it. It's nice.
To each his
Because I
own.
didn't do anything. I didn't help. I'm just kind of sit here and talk about it, which I love.
The fact that they're hitting
But I
on
didn't
this
help.
means they
So,
knew
yeah,
You
Kudos.
helped
in that
Kudos.
relay the
span that they
message
were
and,
in. They were in a fucking low.
All right. Still not in the credits of the game, though, if you know that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's something we could fix.
No, no. See,
I
it's
feel like y'all
100%
shouldn't waste time on that.
That's my whole goal.
Yeah.
Get
It's like
that as
wait
a side
until,
project in
like,
the.
you know, the future.
Yeah,
and
there
then
you
put
go.
it in the patch notes. Like, we finally did it. No, but it doesn't. Anyway.
Bottom of the fucking
Yeah,
priority
again,
list.
thank you, community, for being an awesome part of TU6. Like you said before, even though we aren't talking about future content, future updates, and that sort of thing, we aren't going anywhere. So
Right.
one would assume that from that, there's more coming.
Yeah.
I mean,
Episode 3.
Logic on your side, then I think it's pretty fair to assume that there's more
Episode
coming.
2 didn't
So
really
you're still
bring
working on
anything.
things that we'll be able to talk about soon.
It brought
Absolutely.
Kinley
And,
College with
you
the
know, kind
speed
of,
runs.
as I was saying before, like
2 new main
this isn't-
missions. Missions
where
are
we
boring.
are right now isn't the where we
2
want to
classified
stop.
obje-
This is just
classified missions.
Because
You
you
run
also
them
may have
once
noticed
or
it from showing
twice,
a lot of
you're
things.
done.
You're now the associate game director on the Division 2.
Correct.
Congratulations. That's cool.
Thanks.
That's good. I think that's super good news because I know that you have a real big passion for this game.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You want to see it.
Yeah.
Ah!
Does it
Absolutely.
feel similar? You're a recent father.
Controller settings.
Yes.
I was almost going to ask if you love the Division like you love your child, but I'm not a father, so I have no idea if that's how it works.
I think maybe parents on the stream can maybe relate to how I feel about answering
Okay.
that question, but
It clearly goes to show that I'm not a dad.
Dude, I love my
well,
cat
okay,
more in
but-
Division,
but
alright?
Let's stay there for a second.
Okay.
How's this a fucking thing?
The process of making a video game is a really long process, right?
Yeah.
It involves a ton of people and a ton of effort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so being a dad, maybe not so much.
Are we really
beforehand,
fucking
but,
hounding on
but
this?
afterwards, right?
Jesus.
And so when you do release it, a game out to the public, and you know,
There's
through
been
the
a
course
lot
the
of
game,
nothing
refine
going
it,
on in this state of the game.
feedback and stuff like that. Like you do grow.
Are they normally
Actually,
this slow when they're not having a update
So there we
coming
go.
in the near
I'm happy
future?
that we didn't back down from that train wreck of analogy. All right. Okay, there's a couple of things before we get into the kind of talking a bit more about what you've been working on that we wanted to give a shout out to a really, a
That's
couple
better.
of really, really cool community things that have been happening. You probably will have seen them. I'm getting.
Oh,
Alright,
fuck.
I can keep
Okay.
bullshitting like the best of them. Don't worry about it. But if you've been playing The Division and you're active in the community, you will have seen a couple of really cool websites that have been used by people.
Division Builder, interactive map.
I personally use them when I'm
Where's
like,
the
you know how the division's really complicated, and it's like,
do.
what do I do? what do I do to build my my loadout? And it's, there's a lot
Division
to take
Builder.
into consideration.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier for me to just see what smart people do
Yeah.
and get their builds, and basically, I kind of write myself a shopping list of stuff that I need to fulfill my build.
I do that too.
In comes thedivisionbuilder.com. No, but this is
Called it.
really cool, and wanted to let you know that we see what you've done with thedivisionbuilder.com. That, I wrote it on my hand. That's done by SysOp. So SysOp.
And then he's going to
Blackjet,
mention interactive
and
map with all the
awesome
new
work on the
collectibles.
website. I think we actually
shite.
have some footage of the website. If you haven't been using thedivisionbuilder.com,
It's so
View
hard.
top
it's super,
builds.
super good. Just from being able to kind of maybe see some
Y'all
things that
are
we've made.
plugging
You
a
if there's some wacky
site
builds out there that you want to try. But
that
especially useful
will not
if you're trying to
promote
build
diversifying builds
Yeah.
You know,
because
like, what do
you're
I-
just
what do I need?
copying
What's better for my
somebody's
build?
build.
Right.
Really cool. And also in terms of building stuff, it's
Yeah.
really easy. 'Cause
No, it's a great interface. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole thing is really well done.
It is really
mean,
well done. Great
can also
fucking
use it while
job
you're at
by.
I'm just saying.
I don't know to give
So,
props
like,
to
you
the
can
Division
play the
Builder,
Division while you're at
but I
work,
do
but
have
maybe use
that
it for
as
theory
a
and be like,
as a
I kinda wanna see
shortcut
what I could use
on
in
my
the slots, that sort of thing.
PC.
I like
Great
it.
website.
SysOp, awesome stuff.
But you shouldn't be plugging
Um,
it.
I also wanted to give a shout out to Ruben Elamin, who runs a website
That does
basically
not
collects all
encourage
of the Division Weekly Reset
build diversity.
information and puts it all in one place. Again, although you should probably do your job while you're at work, you can look. In all honesty, hands up in chat if you are watching this while you're at work. Like, okay, yeah.
Technically,
Alright,
this
come on.
is work.
Be honest. We won't tell. But Ruben Elamina's website, if we can just take a quick look
Ruben
at
Elamin,
what that looks like, is super, super cool.
that name rings a bell.
Yes, right? All right, don't get back to work. You can get back to work in 28 minutes.
Oh, what is this?
But the weekly vendor reset, super, super cool.
Oh, wow, I haven't visited that since TD1.
Again, the whole shopping list.
Oh, see, it's White
idea.
House.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's great.
fuck, Ruben
Because
Alamina?
You know, usually you can check Reddit, and if something like God Roll.
Yeah, I
pops up,
always
you
did it
usually
from
see a
Reddit.
post like, go and get these 13% gloves.
Ruben
You can do that. But
Alamina.
maybe there's something more niche that you want.
That was
Niche?
at
Americans say niche, right?
14:30.
I don't know. I think maybe if
Fuck,
they do it,
that's
they're-
the stream, not.
they wanna be correct.
Fuck it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Oh.
kidding.
Brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah. So, Ruben and SysOp, thank you very, very much for what you do in our community. It is much appreciated and
That's a
super
great
useful.
fucking
So,
job,
people
Ruben.
Are using those mods. If you have links and
That's
that
a
you
lot
can
of
send to
hard
us in
work
chat,
doing that
please do so because they're really cool.
with all the
Now
restocks.
we can actually head over to the
Resets.
interview portion of the show. So let's get going with our developer interview.
Developer interview.
That's my voice. Oh, my God.
15 and a half minutes.
Yes. Hi, Drew.
Hello.
How are you?
Developer
This has been a fun
interview.
stream already. So thank you very much for
Yeah, man, it's great to be here.
dropping by. I actually do not recall when you were on the stream last.
Man, it had to have been.
Was it before the launch?
Yeah.
Are
right
y'all
after.
trying to drag this shit
There
out?
was a special report before the
Was
launch.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a while ago.
It has,
Yeah.
so welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
For people who have never, because we had a free weekend recently, it's fair to assume
Yeah.
that there might be some new people in the stream.
Yeah.
Hi.
If so.
Um,
Awesome.
yeah, welcome to the Division community. We don't often go as loose with our terrible analogies. But we mostly do, and I'm lying. But for those people, for the new people, what's your history been with Massive? How long have you been here? What do you do?
Yeah. So I've been with Massive for almost 6 years now. So I started with
TD1?
Division 1.
Yeah.
So I was primarily focused on AI and just PvE combat in general. But I also, some people might remember.
So y'all
I
fucked
worked
up
a
at
bit
1.4
with,
or
with the
1.3.
world tier system in 1.4 and some other things that we did then. And
All the hunter
1.4.
stuff?
Yeah, the hunters and the hunter AI.
The overpowered
very
cleaners and
difficult, that kind of
DZ6, the shy gunners running up on your
Yeah,
ass.
so so Div 1, I joined actually right after E3 2013. Like that was what I saw that and I had applied to Massive like right after.
Yeah.
Because that just blew me away.
Yeah.
Let
and
me
then,
apply.
Right, so I was
Not really.
lead AI
I don't know
designer
enough about
on,
gaming.
Division 2 and did similar things. So kind of designed and implemented the behaviors for all the AI in Division 2, or at least the combat AI, and did a lot of different kind of PvE combat things. Yeah,
All right.
that stuff.
So now with TU6,
Now let's
you've
get
been
this
focusing on a
fucking
few
report.
different things.
Yes.
I mean, those things you were focusing on months ago because they had to be in on the PTS. They had
Yeah,
to, like,
exactly.
So we're going back a
Exactly.
little bit in time
Yeah.
as to when your brain was ticking
Yeah.
over these things.
Exactly.
But when you sat down to think about what you can do with TU6, particularly in terms of,
Title
I know the
update
difficulty
6,
rebalancing was one of the things that you
18
wanted
minutes
to
in.
achieve.
Yeah, that was one of the big things.
What was going on there?
Yeah. So, kind of the general idea was that when you were kind of playing like pre 1.6 in difficulty, the difficulty became a little unbalanced as you climbed from hard to challenge and challenge to heroic, right? And that was mostly because the bullet damage would continuously go up, but the explosion damage wouldn't. So that would
Didn't
really
know
change
that.
the way that you played, right? Because explosions.
Oh yeah, you're
in
saying
general
with
are
the
really key
skills.
to our combat.
Yeah,
what we
seeker
think is
minds,
combat
whatnot.
experience, right? Throwers are there mechanically to basically get you to leave your cover, right? And then if you get someone like a sniper, their goal is to punish players being out of cover. So if you pair those two together, that's a synergy.
Makes
and
sense.
It creates hopefully an interesting puzzle for the player.
Right.
Like, how do they deal with that situation? When that explosion component is kind of taken away, and a lot of players, right, we would see them eat grenades instead of trying to dodge out of the way.
Fuck
They
yeah.
just take it, and no big deal. It wouldn't take that much of their armor or whatever.
Damn
So
it,
when that's
what a
taken
big
away,
chunk of
we kind of
steel.
ruin that synergy, and all of a sudden it kind of completely changes the way you play. But I think in kind
So
of
you're
a
talking about the
less
fucking
interesting way.
enemy, the NPCs damage?
So that's kind of the problem that we really wanted to solve, right? Secondarily, the other thing was kind of the time to kill, especially
Lower
when you
it?
got into heroic.
After
It
y'all
was maybe
promised?
bordering on. If you built really well, like it still felt, I think, pretty good and snappy. But
Yeah.
if you hadn't completely optimized your build and things like that, which is kind of where maybe you shouldn't be playing heroic. I don't know, but you're really skilled, maybe.
Yeah.
So you can do it. Then
Heroics aren't that
those
hard on
time
this
to
game
kill,
at all.
like the time became maybe
It's
a
just
little bit too long.
time-consuming.
It felt
Okay.
maybe a little spongy, things like that.
Yeah, there you go.
And also you were getting killed really quickly. So the ultimate goal, right, was
I had an
to
unbreakable
say,
build.
hey, we have this explosion damage that's down here. The bullet damage is up here. What if we bring that explosion damage up here, but then globally
Uh-oh.
we move that down a little bit?
Time to bring in.
So we bring them on par with
Fuck,
each other,
what
which
was
is
that
totally
classified build?
but then we say, hey, let's also
Build
because
something?
we're essentially making the game more
Shit.
difficult. After we do that, let's lower.
What was
time
that
to
6
kill so
piece
we
you
do a
eat
little
the
bit more.
grenades?
And let's make
Shit.
sure that
Okay. And what is the result of that been, do you think? Because
Yeah.
when you're going through that, you must obviously look at a lot of data
Yeah,
and these sorts of
absolutely.
things.
Yeah,
What kind of
absolutely.
things are you looking at to kind of evaluate if that's working?
Yeah. So
Data.
internally and
Gonna
also
go over my head right here.
PTS, we looked a lot at completion time, completion rate,
Okay.
downs, deaths.
This is simple.
Kind of all of those different statistics, right, to see if we're similar to kind of where we were.
That's
before.
fucking PC though. How do you compare that with fucking
good.
console players?
if overall difficulty kind of remains the same, which was the goal,
Shit.
then what we're really asking you to do is
Stop
rethink
molding this
how you
game
play
around
those target
PC.
games, right? We're asking you to say, like, well, maybe you use a different strategy than you've been using, right?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've seen since TU6 has been out, obviously when changes happen, it can be a little bit of an adjustment, like
Absolutely.
right?
I
people
like
can be
change and
this feels
adjustment,
different,
though.
and maybe there's a bit of
People
a,
bitch
like
about
a
having to
negative
do their
reaction.
builds all
Yeah,
over.
that's pretty human.
I love that
Truth
part.
be told,
As long as
I
you're
mean,
not
this
going
was
to
something that
division
we
builder and
kicked
copying
around a
somebody's
lot
build,
internally. Like, do we want to make this change?
then
And
I
what it
can
came
see
down
how
to
that's
is we
annoying
as a
because you
team
just
believed that this was best for the game.
copy
This
somebody.
was the most fun experience. We play tested it and we said, you know what? This is actually just more fun, we think. So we believe in this. We think we should do this.
Yeah, I think I've seen from, I guess, just anecdotally reading a lot of what's been happening on forums and on Reddit. You've seen that initial reaction being like, I don't like it, and then people are like, okay, I get it, like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Chat, I mean, we haven't figured out how to do Twitch polls yet, but what do you think? I mean,
I'm in y'all's boat.
I think it
I
would be
know a lot less.
really cool conversation.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
have,
absolutely.
Because sometimes you have to trust your gut as a game designer.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
based on experience. Like you've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
But we would love to hear.
But I was going to say, and it's also something that, obviously it is a relatively new adjustment, so it's entirely possible that maybe we didn't get it right, and maybe now that the floodgates have opened and everyone is having experience with it, and after a few weeks people say, you know what, maybe this is still a little bit too high or whatever, and we can adjust it.
Because like you say, it does change the way people have to play.
Y'all did promise
okay with it,
less
that's
sponginess
Cool.
for
Right, I'll
TD2.
take that.
I
Take
did
that up
remember
and say,
that.
Twitch chat said it's fine, so
It's fine.
that's cool.
Give us
Right,
more
so
fun content.
There's been discussions about the way, I mean, we had some things with NPC AI, which was a bug at the time, about how they would just rush you.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
Exactly.
been some things you've been working on that address the way
Or
NPCs
just run right
think
by you and go
about
fucking block
staying on
down.
Encounter.
Yeah.
It's not a bug, but there's
Yeah.
been some changes you've made.
Yeah.
What was happening before 1.6 and what have you done now?
Right. So
Okay.
to give a little context as to
PvE.
why we did this.
I mean,
so
NPC
in Division 1,
behavior.
NPCs a lot of times would kind of enter combat, guns blazing and things like that, right? And they just
NPC
immediately start
behavior.
firing as they entered combat. That kind of gave the perception they weren't very protective of their lives because they were super aggressive from the start, right? And
Yeah, that rush on you.
that
like
was something that we really identified, especially with our work with hunters and things like that, that like, hey, actually, this is not the best way to approach this, and really our AI should be a bit more intelligent entering combat. So
I like
in
that.
our AI would always search for cover first thing, right? They would sprint to cover
Cool.
as soon as any
Just
gunfire would happen or something like that.
when
to
they
make-
stay there
to
for
make sure it
20
looks like they're
seconds,
protecting
30
their lives, but
seconds.
Also, tactically, it makes a lot of sense. Right? And then if they have a heavy weapons,
Are you trying to say that's when we
the heavy
should
weapons
move
would
up?
lay down cover fire
and just run up on 'em.
continuously suppress while his allies would get into cover. But if there wasn't a heavy weapons, which a lot of times there's not, right? You'd see the NPCs
True
kind of running,
sons.
and depending on the mission or maybe the part in the world, maybe those NPCs would be running 30 meters or more. And that looks a little bit strange if they're just kind of sprinting.
Yeah.
And you don't get that signaling either as a player to say, hey, there's enemies here. Like, yes, you have the mini-map and you have your HUD that pops up and it tells
When
you
did
how the
mini-maps-
temperature actually goes down and stuff like that.
When did they become from
Sometimes
radar
a
to
bullet whizzing
mini-map?
by is
I
actually
remember
the best indicator that you're in combat. Right?
007, we called
so
it
making
the
change that
radar.
NPCs now will basically, a couple will elect to lay down cover fire while they move into cover. So they won't be stationary. They'll kind of move while they do it, while the other ones rush into cover as quickly as they can.
Okay.
So you have a couple brave souls in the NPCs.
Sucks to be those guys.
That,
They
that
basically,
get mowed down by the agents, basically.
but they effectively would basically draw the short straw.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. The other thing that you mentioned before is the behavior of the big Chungas
Yeah.
dudes
Yeah.
is a little bit different now than it was before TU6.
Thor?
Yeah, that's right.
What's changed there?
Yeah. So one of the big changes we made to the tank archetypes, the heavies,
Oh,
right,
okay. Gunners.
was the way that they react to status effects. So
Like
crowd control
half a
in
second.
particular was really, really effective against tank NPCs. Probably too effective.
Mm.
We've actually seen a lot of people talk about, hey, in challenge and heroic, like tanks are a joke. Like you just CC them, mow them down, like no big deal. And really, like tanks are supposed to be kind of focal points in battles. And so I think contextually,
I see
as
we
well,
all
it didn't make
line of
sense
thinking
that
here.
they would,
Train of
you know,
thought,
have these skinny
logic.
little dudes next to them, and they're like reacting the same way to being, you know, hit with
A regular
tear gas
Chevy.
or fire or whatever. Like these are big, imposing guys that are completely covered with armor, right?
Makes sense.
So, so we looked at kind of each status effect, and basically they now react in a way that's
Realistic?
more fitting for their kind of massive size and the intent for the gameplay, right? So, when you set them on fire, for example, they're no longer going to flail their arms and stuff, right? They're just going to soldier on. They're still going to take damage, all of that stuff, but they're basically going to kind of shrug it off. Same thing with when they get shocked. Yeah, you'll get them down, but they're going to fight through it. And they're going to get through it a lot quicker.
Straight up honey badgers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. I don't.
Just like, I'm on fire.
No
Exactly.
complaints here.
That's cool.
Good shit.
Yeah, so that was kind of the general premise. You know, and then you can also see with things like blind or confuse, which maybe this has already been discovered. I haven't seen it mentioned anywhere. But if you blind a tank that was using a melee weapon, right? So
Thor.
the outcast tank, or the secret underground tank.
Leatherface.
If you blind them or confuse them, what they'll do is
that
they'll
really
remember where
secret,
they
or
last
is he
saw
trying to
you,
fucking-
and they'll actually rush forward.
Is he teasing
jump,
another one?
actually, to where you last were, and like basically try to kind of swing around and hit where you used to be.
Okay.
So you can use that to your advantage, right? You can set up traps, you can put them through choke points. There's all sorts of kind of interesting ways, hopefully, to interact with that system if you know how to use it.
Yeah, makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Trying to bring out a Firefly.
Cool.
Very, very cool. And there's also been some small changes to player turrets.
Yes.
Because NPCs will view those differently now.
Yes, that's right. So previously, the assault turret, which I abused a lot as a player, I would just kind of set it up and just kind of hide.
Always
it,
used the
heal,
flame,
things
never
like
used
that.
the assault.
NPCs really didn't care much about it, right? They would continuously.
Oh, they're gonna focus taking out
And that
turrets.
had everything to do with the way that they perceive the turret. They perceive the turret as much less of a threat than the player, which, to be fair, is probably true in most cases. But what it meant was you could just kind of forget that your skill was there, and you could
never
just
had to
play
worry about
really
its health,
passively and
really.
Kind of take advantage of the fact that they weren't targeting it. So now, what happens is if you are really passive and you start hiding, the NPCs are going to start focusing your turret.
They
So
should have
they
done
will
that already.
actively
Let's just
focus it a lot more than they
Say
do.
I just improved
And so basically, if you are
NPC
active and you're continuously playing,
behavior.
they're still going to focus on you, the player, and not your turret. But the minute that you begin to, you know, basically
sit
try to
and
exploit it and
yeah.
stuff, they're going to switch targets and they're going to focus on your turret. Which,
Sweet.
of course, you can also use to your advantage. Right?
Yeah.
You know, if you have a tank or an elite or something like that, and you really want them to focus on that thing for a little bit, you can maybe, you know, go around to cover.
Yeah, it's a two-way
use a
system.
high
Good
line
shit.
sight blocker,
Next.
flank them, you know, and hit them in that way.
Yeah, again, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
I do see some people in chat saying that they love the changes to heavies. Very cool.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
I need to kind of get back in and experience.
I really haven't
some
noticed.
experience
Shit.
next Tuesday, so I'm looking forward to that. I do want to quickly say, Mixer, we do see you over there. Sorry, sometimes we focus on saying sometimes Twitch chat, but we have both chats up, so we're looking at both at the same time. We see you. Okay, that's kind of most of the big changes at least.
Yeah,
Obviously,
exactly.
there's a lot of bugs in it.
Yeah, and there were a lot of like little things with like the, you know, the mini tank.
Mm-hmm.
You would kill the controller, and it was just way too effective after you kill the controller, like, you know, its owner. And now it is way less accurate. Has a longer wind-up time after you kill the controller. And actually, I'm not sure if we put this in our patch notes or not, but friendly fire is actually turned on, so it can actually start shooting its own teammates if you kill its controller. Because
Cool.
it basically goes into super dumb fire mode.
Fuck me.
I like
And you
that.
can set off weak points, and there's all sorts of chaos.
I like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Shout out to
Do you have a few
Joker.
more minutes to stick around.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
We have
as
a
we
couple of
close out,
really cool
hope you got what you came
radio
for.
highlights this week.
Share with your
Slash
mates.
say.
Click those
Two
buttons
agent
that
highlights right
need
now.
Cool.
the clicking.
Oh, we done?
Want to
That's
catch
it,
us in
huh?
action? Check out the squad as we stream. Schedule down below in the description. Swing on by and say hello. And as always, I say peace.